Welcome to another episode of the Unprofessional Parenting Podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lainey.
And we are back. We've taken a couple weeks off. Summer has been absolutely insane for our family. Kids being in camps all over the country, me being out of the house for a little bit. And summer, just like the routine of summer, there is no routine.
No routine.
It's like,
not a routine of summer.
It's like every day you wake up and there's something new for your kids, or they want something new, or you have to, and especially with us two working at the same time with full-time jobs, it's been really interesting this summer. So we are on the last week of summer though. Like this is it. Our kids start going back to school next week. How are you feeling about that?
Lord. Yes, Lord. I'm ready.
Why are you so ready for that?
I'm ready for school. I love routine. I love when our kids have routine. I love when they're like learning and their brains are turned on. Like I feel like everyone just gets significantly dumber during the summer.
Okay.
So it's like we need to get the
it back.
juices flowing.
Case in point, we did watch our oldest daughter try to cut an avocado the other day. And man, she's watched us do it 100 times, but she was taking a butter knife.
A butter knife.
And shaving the outside of it. I was in disbelief. I'm like, we've got to reactivate your brain somehow.
Yeah. It's like...
This can't be what we live in.
They don't teach you to cut avocados in school, but somehow like your brain functions in a way in which it can problem solve other areas when you're learning like algebra and writing.
Right. So we're ready to get them back in school, ready for structure, ready for their brains to turn back on.
Yes.
And it's a seasonal thing. I mean, at the beginning of summer, we were super excited. And then now at the end of summer, we're like, please get them back in school.
Yeah.
But at the end of the school year last year, we're like, please get them out of school. I'm so sick of Carline.
Oh,
but now
there's a life lesson somewhere in that.
Right.
Like
the ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Seasons. Yeah. See, plus it's so hot. I'm just excited for cooler weather.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, we shall see. Today, we are going to be talking about sibling groups in foster care, the importance of keeping siblings together, the importance of the bond, kind of sharing our story a little bit about the sibling group or part of the sibling group that we've taken into our home and our care and now have adopted. But we're going to talk about the whole story, like what happens when a sibling group gets put into care and all the way through till a little bit of finality. And that, I don't know if finality is the right word there, but we'll get to that end point somehow. But as we're talking about siblings, you have a sibling, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one.
Okay, a brother, sister?
I have a brother.
How do you feel about him?
Great. What?
How did you not know that I was going to ask about your sibling?
I honestly didn't even think twice about it. But yeah, I have an older brother. We're almost 4 years apart.
Okay. You love him?
Of course I do. What are these questions?
I just wanted to make sure. He's great. But imagine, put yourself in the position of, God forbid anything ever happened in your childhood, right? And somehow you and your brother were separated. Now, I know you guys obviously had the sibling rivalries.
Right.
I know you think that you're better, cooler, smarter, prettier than he is.
Yeah, I'm really confident that I am. Yes.
Exactly. You are also very confident that you are your parents' favorite child.
Also very confident in that, yes.
But regardless of all of that sibling squabble between the two of you, I know that you guys would do anything for each other.
Of course.
There have been moments of your lives where you were ready to risk it all for each other, to like defend each other, fight for each other, and things of that nature.
Yeah. That's how siblings, that's just the natural bond of siblings as children. I mean, now things can happen into adulthood. So if people are listening, they're like, I don't speak to my siblings at all. Well, that's because things get crazy as you become an adult. But like when you're in your developmental years as a child and an adolescent, your siblings are one of your main bonds and attachments in life.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. So imagine anything were to happen where you guys would get separated. That would be devastating.
Yeah. Well, because you've got a child that has experienced trauma in their household, and then they experience the trauma removal from a family. Even if it's an abusive situation, removal is still trauma.
Very traumatic.
Which is what people like investigators and whoever's the frontline workers in the system always tries to weigh. Is the trauma they're currently experiencing outweighing the trauma of the removal? Like that's the balance they have to have. So a child loses everything in that moment.
Right.
They lose the home that they've known, the people that they've known, the things that they've known. Like they don't get to go pack up their room or whatever they have and take it with them.
Yeah,
Like,
they oftentimes don't get goodbyes. Like,
right,
they don't,
right.
It's like there's no like, we're gonna wrap this little moment up in a bow and move on. It's just like open-ended and
sudden and
yeah.
unexpected.
Yeah.
I remember a little rabbit trail here, but I asked our son a while back, is there anything that you wish someone had told you about foster care before you came into foster care? Or like, I don't know, I phrased it of like, what do you wish you had known that you know now? And he said, I wish someone had just told me that I was coming into foster care before it happened.
Yeah. So he can prepare himself.
Yeah. And now that's not possible, but like his deepest struggle in that is like, he had no time to prepare. It's just so sudden. A child has no idea. And then like, boom, all of a sudden they're taken from everything they've known. So to tie it back into siblings, your sibling becomes the only familiar thing that oftentimes you can take with you when you go into foster care.
Right. And so, man, there is this thing that happens when a sibling group is removed from a home. And I think statistics show that 65 to 85% of people who are in foster care are part of a sibling group. So that's the majority of people who come into foster care. So imagine yourself as you're being pulled out of a house, out of a dangerous situation, neglect or abuse or whatever, and being put into a home. And now imagine being separated from your sibling.
Yep.
Right? And taken away from that one piece of continuity in your life and having to start in a place that's very scary, very new, and you didn't even have time to prepare for it, right?
Yep.
That is a crazy thing. So we are taught all the time, and especially in our training and things of that nature, of how important it is to keep sibling groups together.
Yeah. Well, when you have siblings that are growing up in a traumatic environment, a chaotic environment, they create a bond with each other to survive that environment together.
Right.
That it's a unique bond that maybe many of us who have not gone through traumatic childhoods don't understand, because they are each other's protectors. They are each other's providers. They are each other's comforters. And so when you separate them, you've often got the older sibling that has intense emotional distress, worrying about their younger sibling, because they are no longer there to protect their younger sibling like they've been used to doing.
Right.
You have younger siblings that are in emotional distress because they have lost their protector.
Sure.
And they've lost their older sibling who was often a comfort to them during times of crisis and stress.
Right.
So you've just, the separation that happens, it's a trauma on top of a trauma. The trauma of having to leave your nuclear family, in addition to the trauma of being ripped away from the person who is there to comfort you and help you and protect you in these times of crisis.
Yeah, no, that's tough. So I mean, obviously the answer is, why don't we just keep all sibling pairs together?
Yeah, why not?
Why don't we just keep all siblings together if they're removed from a home? Well, it's not that easy.
Right.
It's not that easy.
Right.
Because you have foster homes who might not be set up for 4+ kids.
Yes.
Right? I think of our own story and with our girls who came to live in our house and who since we've adopted, they are siblings together.
Yeah.
But they are also part of a larger sibling group as well. And they have a younger brother and a younger sister who were not placed with them. In fact, they were separately placed as well.
They were separate
so
as
the
well,
two olders, our girls were placed together. And the two youngers were separated and placed separately. Again, the ideal thing would be to find a foster home that can take everyone. And so life can just continue in a different way, but still have the continuity of the relationship of the siblings.
Right.
But again, it's hard to find those foster homes that are willing to open up their home for 4+ kids right off the bat.
Well, and let's talk about it, because we did the same thing when we were being licensed. We've talked about this before. You kind of create your demographic profile. You create like your dating profile of sorts of like, here's what I'd like to be matched with.
Ideally.
Yeah. And I think when you're walking into a really scary place of becoming foster parents, you want to do the safest thing possible.
Oh, for sure.
Or what you think would be the safest thing possible.
You want to set yourself up for what you think you can do.
Yes.
Right?
And so many times, like 9 times out of 10, I've talked to our licensing agency about this, and they were like, everybody puts down that they want one child. They only have room for one child. They have one bed because one just feels like a safe number. And we get it. We did the same thing. Like,
we're not outnumbered at that point.
Right.
We can tag team and go in on this kid if we need to.
Yeah, we just want one. It feels safe.
It does.
But I would like to propose the argument that one child might actually be a lot more difficult than multiple.
This is a super hot take, and I'm going to let you talk on that for a second.
Yes.
Can we go back to our story for a little bit?
Sure, go for it.
So we, put down on the paper, here's our ideal of what we want, prospective foster child come into our home.
Yeah.
And then we received a call shortly after licensing. We told the story a little bit before. Shortly after licensing of hey, we have a couple of girls who are about to be removed from a foster home, not for anything that they did.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in taking 2 girls, sisters in? And now for us, that was a big step of like, wait a second. Mm-hmm. Did you not read our pamphlet? Like we said one,
right.
Please don't like try to overdo it here. But then it got to us, having the conversation about what it would look like to have 2 sisters be in this home and how healthy that would be for them to travel together, move in together, be together, and how that actually helps us in the long run. And this is going back to your super hot take of why you think a sibling group is more healthy for a foster home than just a single sibling out of that group.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
All right, here we go. I want to propose that keeping siblings together will make a foster parent's life easier in the long run.
Tell us. Okay. You've already stated the thesis, and we need the supporting argument.
That's it. No, I'm just
going to stop there.
Okay, so here's some examples. We just talked about how distressing it is for siblings to be separated. So you eliminate that level, or you reduce that level of emotional distress right off the bat. Mm-hmm. When siblings can stay together, they have some semblance of consistency and some semblance of familial bond.
Okay.
During their transition into your home.
Yeah.
Now, you also have a built-in self-entertainment.
Heck yeah.
Self-comforting.
Tell us more.
Regulating.
Yeah, baby.
You have a reduction in emotional and behavioral issues with those children.
Why?
Because they have each other to help them regulate themselves and cope 100%. With the situation.
I would fully agree.
Yes.
Fully agree.
Now, on a really shallow level, I think about the amount of times. Now, we have really good friends that just have a singular child. Because she didn't have siblings. Right. A singular child the same age as our girls.
Yep.
And my friend tells me, like, man, we're always entertaining her. I'm having to come up with this. I'm having to do this. We're planning this. And I'm just like, dang.
Tell me more.
Have you ever thought about getting her a sibling? Because we just didn't necessarily have that same amount of struggle, because our girls were in their bedrooms making bracelets together. They were watching their favorite TV shows together, playing dolls together, doing they automatically had a friend built into our home when they arrived.
That was a deeper level of a relationship than just a friend.
Yes.
Again, the traumatic experience that they experienced together, they had gone through it together. So there's that bond there.
Yep.
The removal bond is there. The starting a new chapter of life is there. All those bonds are so strong and so deep.
And they understood each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
they got it.
Was that?
I said they got it. They understood where they had come from and what was going on, and they just were able to help each other through that.
Yeah, and encourage each other and love each other through it. And speak the truth to each other about the situation and about us.
Yeah.
And about how we're not, as scary as we come off to be.
Well, now on a deeper level, one of my favorite parts about having the two of them together is we have built-in recon in our house as well.
So good. So good.
Built-in recon.
What do you mean by that?
They will snitch on each other so quickly.
Heck yeah. I love it. I
like it too, because I'm like...
It's like an extra parent, It's sometimes it's annoying and
sometimes
frustrating.
It is annoying. Yeah, that's like the tattling.
I don't want to know about this, but the deeper stuff...
Yes.
Because they have trust, and they are sharing those things with each other. And just like any biological family that has, siblings that are all together. Like I snitched on my brothers.
Yeah.
I'm sure you snitched on your brother.
Yeah.
I'm sure you told your parents, Mom, Dad, my brother's doing these things, right?
I mean, no, okay, I didn't, but he did the reverse. He is the snitch.
We've talked about how you're way much better than him.
I know. But I also, on a serious note on that, we have been able to help our girls through so many of their struggles and issues because the other one gave us that insight that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
Yeah.
And I also remember times when one of our girls was just struggling a lot, struggling behaviorally, struggling with emotional regulation. And I would take her sister aside and be like, can you give me any insight to this? Like, has she struggled with this a lot in her life before we knew her? Did she struggle with this when you were with your parents? And being able to kind of just get that insight of like, oh yeah, like this is when this would happen, or this is what would happen prior to her having these issues, and how adults in the situation would handle it afterwards that maybe exacerbated it. It was nice to just kind of have that insight on the deeper struggles that they had, and it informed us to be able to help them even more.
Right. And we've also enlisted our girls to help us communicate certain things or teach certain things to each other. We've done that before. Like we'll call one in the room and we say, hey, we've noticed that this is happening. Could you speak this into existence for your sister? Could you help us teach this truth to her? Because she's just not getting it from us.
They will listen to their peers and their siblings far more than they will ever listen to parents.
Right.
Yes.
So we've experienced that just on our level of just being parents, our role in this, being parents. It's been so helpful to have siblings in our home, and now they are now taking the mantle of sibling to our son as well, who came into our home. Who came into our home as an only child and never had a sibling. So he's stepping into something new, and just the emotional toll and things and ways that they've helped us navigate those and help us just with his transition into our home has been something that's been unbelievable. And we've shared that before in the past. But.
And now I want everybody to kind of sit in the first day that our son would have come into our home. Now he is biologically an only child.
Yes.
So he was removed and he was completely by himself, which is very rare. Like we said, 85% of kids coming into the system have a sibling. So he was in the minority of being an only child, especially at his age, coming in at he was 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah.
So especially at his age, being an only child, just very rare situation. But I think of him in that car, the transport coming to our house, the thoughts that must have been going through his head, the feelings that he must have been feeling, just absolutely terrified of stepping into this stranger's home. And when he walks into our house, there are 2 kids close to his age there to greet him. And that was a moment I remember us specifically. We completely removed ourselves after saying hi. We completely removed ourselves from the situation, went into our bedroom, and we just allowed him and the girls to go. The girls gave him a tour of his room. They showed him the house. They comforted him. They introduced him to our dogs. They played with him in those first moments. That is just such a safe thing for a child to walk into a home and have other children greet him and say, hey, this is a safe place for kids.
Right. By the way, what you're experiencing today, I went through a couple years ago.
Yes.
And everything's going to be fine.
Yes.
Everything is going to be fine.
Yes.
I not only think about that moment, but I think about the moment of the adoption talk that we've talked about in previous episodes, where we had the conversation with our girls about how our son's case was coming to a point where we had to decide whether or not we wanted to adopt him. Their responses in those moments of just incredible encouragement and just, we were blown away by the conversations we had with our girls on that. But not only that, but the conversation that we had to have with our son about the fact that he was not going to be reunifying with his biological mom and that he would be living with us. It's a joyous and also very heartbreaking conversation to have because You are essentially saying goodbye to the old, welcome to the new. And there's that weird, how do I feel in this moment kind of thing.
Yep.
And obviously, it's a hit. It's a hit to the heart.
Yeah.
When you have that conversation. But him in that moment at that dinner table, us telling him, hey, we want to be your family. We are your family. You are our family.
Yeah. Just kind of giving him the reality of what was happening.
Right. And then watching our girls who had just gone through that same conversation a couple years prior to go and be with him and console him and love him and encourage him and show him that everything is going to be all right was something that you and I would never be able to do together on our own.
Yeah.
We just had the words and the facts and the things that parents always say to make sure things are going to be all right. But our girls, his siblings, his sisters, got a chance to go and talk with him.
And when you can sit in that type of emotional struggle, because it is two opposite feelings happening at the same exact time. You can be excited that like you get to stay with the family that you have grown attached to and bonded to, but also there's an absolute devastation and deep grief that comes with knowing that you are losing your biological
Divorced
family.
from them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, it feels like a death, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so it's a weird thing for adults to have to try to process that. Insanely difficult for a child to figure out how to process through all of those feelings and the grief that comes with it. So to be able to sit with someone close to your age who has been through it, who gets it, who can look you in the eye and just say, like, I've been there. I get it. You're not alone. So powerful.
Yeah.
For a child to be able to have that.
Right. And so kind of to finish this episode, we're not quite there yet, but I just want to talk about our philosophy of why we have always been pro siblings, pro sibling relationships, pro even some, we don't have to talk about this in this episode, but biological family being in the fold as well at some points.
Yeah.
But why do you think that we have taken the stance of just being pro sibling relationship?
It's absolutely research based. We know that children have better outcomes when they are attached in some way, a healthy attachment to their biological birth families.
Yeah.
It is innately how God designed us.
Correct.
God designed us with biological factors to attach to those who share the same DNA as us. And if that attachment, if that child cannot be with their birth parents for safety reasons, the next best outcome is with their siblings.
Yeah.
And for a child to grow up with people who share their DNA is so powerful. You will get better emotional and behavioral outcomes most of the time.
Right.
And I have followed on social media an adoptee for years. And simply her story is that she never knew her biological parents, never knew any biological siblings, family, like had no connection whatsoever. It was closed adoption from birth. And she's never been able to find anyone from her biological family. And I remember her making statements like, I walk through crowds and I walk in public all the time, looking at faces and making eye contact with people, wondering when I'm going to recognize a person that I'm looking at. Man. Like on a deep soul level, will my soul know theirs because we share DNA? And it has been a struggle for her and a very isolating for her that she has never known someone who shares DNA with her. And I'm just like, man, and I don't know if that's exactly where it comes from, but I think we just have this understanding that humans need to be connected to those who God created them to be connected to.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you forsake safety and you forsake security and any of that's not that's not what I'm advocating for. But what I am saying is that at all costs, children should try to be connected to their siblings, if at all possible.
Right. And so that brings up kind of, this is the finish is where I want to end it here, is we understand that we have listeners and we do talk to families who can't bring into their home more than one child.
Yeah.
Because of space issues, because of financials, because of whatever.
Right.
But there are ways to keep children connected to their siblings who may be separated in the system.
Right.
And like we mentioned before, we have 2 girls who are part of a 4 child sibling pair, and their 2 younger siblings, their brother and their sister, were adopted by a different family. And so we have actually had the opportunity during the whole foster care process. One of the big things from the courts and from the advocates and from the guardian ad litems and everything is to just make sure that you have contact with the rest of the siblings.
Yeah.
They need to see each other regularly. They need to be involved with each other's lives. You don't have to be over there every single day, but to be involved. And so we've gotten the opportunity to get to know this other family, to grow with this other family, to be friends with this other family, and to see our kids, our 2 and their 2, grow up separately apart from each other, but still be connected.
Yes. Yeah.
And we wanted to do everything in our power to make sure that connection still happens. So they're not missing their little brother's kindergarten graduation. They're not, missing a birthday party or something that they're invited to. Like, we are trying and we are scheduling our lives around the best that we can, getting them together to make sure that they stay together. So there are ways, even if you are stepping into the foster world and you're like, okay, siblings really sounds scary. I don't know if I can do more than one. I don't know if I have the room. I don't have the ability, whatever. That you can still keep those sibling bonds intact the best that you can. There are ways to do it. You just need to make it a priority.
And I think this is a good lesson for those that are considering foster care, becoming foster parents.
Yeah.
Foster care is not just simply, I'm going to take a child into my home and protect them and raise them.
Nope.
Like, foster care is so much more and expansive than just that one singular child.
Right.
Like, this is a relationship building ministry across all fronts.
Yep.
Obviously for the child or children you take into your home, but this is also a relationship building ministry with those kids' biological families, because we know that 2/3 of the time, those children coming into foster care will either be reunified with their parents or they will be adopted by extended biological family.
Right.
1/3 of children coming into foster care are adopted by foster families.
Yep.
Okay, and I think that's really important. From the get, you need to understand that most likely this child is not staying in your home.
Right.
And therefore, building relationships with birth families is so important. And then post-adoption, in our process, or in our situation, we're also building relationships with other adoptive families and other foster families who our children are connected to. So this is a relationship building ministry. You're going to have to go into this with the understanding that it's not just you and this isolated child together.
Right.
It's you facilitating multiple relationships for the sake of this child.
Yes, absolutely. I think the best thing you can do as a foster parent is to keep the healthy relationships healthy.
Yeah.
Keep the healthy relationships healthy, and keep that on the forefront of your mind, whether it's with biological family, siblings, other adoptive families that we just talked about. But man, it's an important thing. It's
so
an important thing. So we encourage you if you're just taking your first step in your foster care journey, don't let the things that we talk about scare you away from it. There's beauty in it that is so deep. There's so much joy in it. We get to talk about some of the bad things, some of the good things, just because we have the platform to do so. But each story is unique. And if you're in a place where you're like, I just don't know about siblings, I don't know about keeping up the relationship with biological there's so much health to that when it is right.
Yeah.
When it is right.
Yeah.
So we just want to encourage you in that. Do you have anything else you want to add to this?
Take the siblings set.
Take the siblings. Do it. Put them all in one bedroom. Get a triple bunk bed and do it.
Seriously, I feel like if you talk to families of just multiple children, not even foster children, just multiple children in general, families start saying like, after 3 kids, it's like, what's one more? Like it almost gets easier after 3 kids. So it's like, just take the kids.
Right.
Like just take all the siblings
sign up for it.
And I think you'll be surprised as to
I think the Lord will bless that
how
too.
all the dynamics will work together.
For sure. Well, we appreciate you guys listening into this episode. This has been Matt
and Lainey
with another episode of the Unprofessional Parenting Podcast. We will see you next time. Farewell.